I've been following your progress now for many years. Well, I say many, several years. We'd be in the press room at Formula One races and we'd see the Formula BMW results, and there you'd be dominating that with Antonio Ferrari. And well, all I can say is congratulations on everything so far. And here you are on the crest of the wave now, GP2. And it looks like already you've had some amazing races. Bahrain from the pit lane up into P6, I think. Just tell us about that, first of all. What a drive.
Yeah, it's been not the way I wanted, I would say. I didn't want to start from the pit lane, but things didn't come right in these last few races. So, but I would say this race from the pit lane was a bit special for me, because I knew I had the car competitive, but we had a problem on the battery coming to the grid, so the car just completely shut down on the way to the grid. So I had to be pushed to the pit lane. Luckily, I could manage to start the car, and well, I was not only from the pit lane, but second from the pit lane. Yeah, but it was a pretty cool race. I mean, every lap I was keeping well my tires. We were pacing really strong, and I can tell you, it was every lap I was getting a car there. Every lap was boom, another one, and when I asked on the radio which position I am, I was already P7, and then I think Limer had a drive-through, and that was it. We made to the top 6, and we scored a few points. It was a very good race.
Great stuff. Tell us a little bit about the graduation from your perspective from Formula 3, where you dominated things, 2 seasons in Formula 3, and you won the championship with Carl in the British Championship. And then you've made a very, very slick graduation to GP2. What was your first impression when you drove the GP2 car?
Well, obviously it's a completely different car. Coming from a Formula 3 is a huge jump, from a car to another. In the Formula 3 you are used to carry the momentum, the minimum speed of the car, because you don't have such a lot of power. It's not so powerful engine, so you've got to drive all the time, trying to raise this entry speed, just keeping the speed on the car, and which in the GP2 you cannot do that, because you have a heavier car, you have a more powerful engine on the back, and it was, in the beginning, I can tell you, it was difficult to adapt in the car, but we could see, straight away in the first race in Malaysia, I was, from there on, I'm getting stronger and stronger. I still can tell you that I still lacking a bit of mileage on the car. But the thing is, they're 2 completely different cars. It's a big step, and to understand the tires, they are different tires. It's a different team, a different series, so a different format of the weekend. You only have half an hour to get in the circuit, learn the track, and boom, straight to qualifying. So those things I didn't have in Formula 3. It was more like you have more time during the weekend to understand the car, to set up the way you like. But from now, I just went to tracks that I didn't know, like Sepang and Bahrain, and we were very competitive. So I hope when we get in the European part, we should be even stronger.
Well, I'm sure you will be. And you've qualified top 3. You've had a top 3 finish now. A win, I'm sure, is only a few races away, if not perhaps even this weekend. I'd love to talk to you as well about your trip to Daytona earlier this year. You were, for once, the Sunoco winner was a young guy with a lot of pace, which was great to see. And then you just went to Daytona and racing the DP, the Daytona prototypes, and you got straight into that as well, quick out of the box.
Yeah, it was surprising, I would say. I couldn't imagine that I would adapt so quickly in the car to the track, and a bit different driving style to the car. But I think the program from Sunoco was a superb one. It was a very professional one. We had time to understand the car. We had time to get to know the teams, and it was not just going there just for fun or just for a prize. It was something very serious, and I took it serious because I knew I could get something from there. So I learned many things. I learned about managing my tires, managing the traffic, which is huge in that race. You overtake cars like I never did in my life. So it's been a pretty cool experience, I would say. And I want to come back there as well. So, well, but the car, you know, it was a very powerful car too. It's a V8 engine with almost 600 horsepower, and I think the most impressive thing I like was the racing. You know, the racing is very, you know, every car, most of the cars are very equal. So you race against top guys, top drivers, and you know that guys, they know how to do the job, and you can go side by side with them. You do like overtakes all the time in the track. So it's been a pretty cool experience for me.
And we're talking seriously good drivers here. We're talking Juan Pablo Montoya, Dario Franchitti, and so forth. How did they approach you in terms of, because you went there as the British Formula 3 champion? What was it like for you amongst them when you were out of the car chatting to them?
Well, I knew first of all you've got to respect those guys because they know they are very professional. In the end, they have more experience. They know they have been done that race many times. But once I was in the track, I think they knew they were battling with some experienced guy, you know, because I think it was a bit tough for them too. But I had a blast there. It was really fun. It was really good.
I say yet another Brazilian. You don't want to hear that, but over in Europe, we think there are so many great talented drivers coming out of Brazil. Tell us a little bit about your background and whether it's relatively easy or difficult for a young Brazilian to come over to Europe and make it now, and what it was like for you going from karts to Formula BMW.
Well, I can say everything just happened very quickly. You know, when I came from karting, which I just competed in Brazil, I never came to do a go-kart race in Europe. So when I turned 16 in Brazil, I came to do an invitation race in the Formula BMW Americas, which was my first ever race in the BMW car. That was back in 2008. And in this weekend in Interlagos, I had a podium. I finished third, just behind Juncadella and Alexander Rossi, which they were both competing in that championship in that time. And then it was there that I met Antonio Ferrari. And we signed a deal for the next year to compete in the 2009 BMW European Championship. And things just happened so quickly in that year, I can remember. Because I didn't know any of the tracks. But the good side was because we had a lot of testing in the BMW car, the collective test in a few of the tracks we're going to run. And the team did a superb job as well to give me all everything I needed inside that, the experience from the engineers, the mechanics. The car was always in a good shape. And but I just remember going to Barcelona in my first ever weekend together with Formula One. I can tell I was a bit nervous, but everything happened so quickly. Suddenly I was on pole, and then my first race I finished second, and I got a first win in the second race. So it was very impressive. I was surprised, but that was the good side. I think I made a lot of. I impressed so many people, and we got good deals coming over from all the teams, from all the series, from good sponsors, and that was when I met Steve Robertson. That when we started our relationship in the end of 2009. We had also Red Bull sponsoring us in. By the way, I think by mid of the season we had the car in the Red Bull livery, but was so good. That BMW championship was something very very special, and I got I just can say that things happened so quickly. I was leading the championship, and I just won my first ever championship in my first year here in Europe competing. So that was very special.
And Steve and Dave Robertson still manage you, I assume.
Yes, they still.
That's really interesting for you because obviously they manage Kimi, and they're quite selective in the drivers that they look after. And so you're benefiting from that side of things. And then in addition, going back to GP2, Davide Valsecchi, your teammate, is doing an unbelievable job at the moment. How is it working alongside Davide?
It's going pretty well, you know. I knew that coming to the team was gonna be like this. We were gonna have an experienced driver, and for me was just a plus, you know. I knew it was gonna be hard anyway to get in GP2 coming from Formula 3, so I was not really worried about Valsecchi, which I think the guy has done a lot more mileage than I did. He has a lot more experience in the car, and I think that now he's delivering the job. You know, I think for me is the best reference I can have, because the guy, he's inside my team. So all the information it's all together there, so I know what I have to do. But I still think I need more time to learn from everything. You know, there are many things to learn yet. But I guess, you know, I'm looking forward to the year. You know, so let's see. By the way, we see from the half of the season towards, we see what I can do, and to be pacing like Valsecchi or even beat him. But at the moment, I think we gotta take it easy. You know, we are doing it step by step. Let's see now how it goes in the European tracks that I know, and I see what the results are.
Yeah, and that is absolutely the right attitude, of course. But having done Daytona, and I know we're switching around a bit with the conversation, I guess in a way it's kind of frustrating for you. You're now focused on GP2 and that is your thing, but it would be nice just to be driving lots of different cars and doing lots of different forms of motorsport, and that isn't there for you in this generation of drivers in which you find yourself. And I wonder, when you say you'd love to go back there, I mean, how serious are you that you'd like to do other forms of motor racing?
Well, since I've been doing that, I've been looking to Formula One. That's my main goal. That's what I've been doing all my years in motor racing. But I guess, you know, experience is everything. So I guess doing another series is not gonna hurt that way to Formula One, and especially that race from Daytona, the Rolex 24, was something I really enjoyed. And why not do it every year? You know, it's something I want to keep doing. And from my side, I think it's very positive, because in January there is nothing going on. There is no racing in Europe. No. So just to keep yourself in form, you know, in shape.
Sure.
That race was really positive in that side.
Felipe, great to talk to you, and I'll let you get on because I know you've got your travel plans to get to Barcelona. Whereabouts are you living at the moment?
I'm in London right now. I'm in London right now in the center, so it's pretty good. I like England. It's a very good place.
Well, thanks very much for spending time with us. As I say, very best wishes for the upcoming races. Look forward to seeing you on the podium again, and before long, no doubt you will be in Formula One.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.